Now that the dust has settled. I mean, has it really? I guess so. Of course I'm gonna talk about Arena. 2v2v2v5?
Like, look at this, look at these! It's Pokemon time!
Look, I wasn't around for the hype around Earth when it first came out, but damn if I'm not glad I'm around for this. Arena is possibly the most hype I've seen the League community in ever since I started playing, and it's for good reason. This mode is a ton of fun. You want to try out a new or cool champion and not get stuck on the turret in a losing matchup for 35 minutes without doing anything? Arena's got you covered. You can basically play whatever the hell you want in this mode, and if it's some clown-ass useless champ like Akali, at least the games are over extremely fast, and the random augments and blind pick and champ select make it so that every match is very unpredictable, giving it that variance that makes it worth playing over and over again, always giving you a chance to get lucky. And you can do all that anytime you want, because you could play an entire match of this in the time that it takes you to start a ranked game. It's the perfect mode for when you want to play a little bit of League, but you don't have time nor the energy to commit to a full Summoner's Rift game. What's more, when you die or lose a round, yeah, you give gold to the enemy team. The difference here is that you'll always get gold in between certain rounds, so unless we count in a few specific augments, you'll always be at even items with your opponents, maybe with a difference in a buff potion or two. This means that you can, and in fact, need to take fights, unlike in Summoner's Rift, where avoiding fights is often the correct choice, and losing one would put you behind for the rest of the game. Now, you probably clicked on this video because of the title, so let's talk about that. Arena is comically unbalanced. Like, when I say Akali is clown tier terrible in this mode, I mean it. And because of that, she's probably gonna get enormous buffs in the near future, just like Bard did, but I suspect it's not nearly enough to make her a viable pick. Meanwhile, we've got stuff like Yorick and Kai'Sa, God tier, easy mode, Z tier Thanos champions that have 0% win rate because they're banned every single lobby. All it takes is a single good augment and these champions take over the entire game. You wanted to play an assassin to burst people? Sorry mate, Kai'Sa can burst people faster than you, from range, point and click, and that combo she used to burst you? That ain't a burst combo, chief. That's her sustained DPS. By the way, did you know that there's an augment that gives you a bunch of AP for every auto attack and a bunch of AD with every ability cast? Yeah, imagine how tragic it would be if Kai'Sa was a hybrid champion. Oh wait. And then you gotta take a look at the Warwick and Soraka combo. In your logical, sound and reasonable mind, you might say, well, just focus the Soraka. And you'd be right. Unless you get Spirit Link, an augment which makes her and Warwick virtually immortal. Like, I'm convinced you need a Kai'Sa or Lethality Yorick to be able to kill that duo, because every time the Warwick heals or gets healed, so does Soraka. Yeah, good luck with that. But I want to argue that this is part of what makes this mode so fun. And I'm not talking just balance changes to make Taric or Fiora a little less Thanos, or flat nerfs and buffs to make Enchanter and ADC duos less prominent in higher skill brackets. The random augments that you get along the rounds are massive power boosters that can make or break certain playstyles, and with the mode being so new, obviously some stuff is gonna be busted. Aside from basic champion balancing, rotating your augments around could massively change how the matches are played. With new augments being introduced and old augments getting temporarily rotated out, you basically turn the whole mode upside down. It's that potential, along with the possible new maps and new neutral champion cameos, that makes Arena so exciting. It makes you want to queue up again, not because it's a balanced, stable mode with everyone having a 50% win rate, but precisely because there's so many busted combinations you could do, that maybe next time you get to be the lucky fellow to get Chauffeur on Ashe while being attached to Jax and become his personal Nier Automata pod. Or better yet, you do the same thing with Jhin, get Stormrazor, and whoever you're attached to becomes a murderous racing car. Or in a more satisfying turn of events, you get Lethal Temper and Conqueror on Yone so your DPS skyrockets. No, I do not know how that feels. I played this mode to Gladiator already, and the only champions I got this augment on were Zed and Xerath. Fucking Xerath. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, just talking about this right now is making me wanna play again. In fact, the only reason it took me so long to make this video is because I've been playing Arena non-stop. And then Baldur's Gate 3 came out. Please send help. Sure, some champions do bring the excitement down a little bit, like play against Yorick is an experience as blissful as shoving a dick in a blender. And Shaco is insanely annoying to play against, while also being terrible to have on your own team, and being a weak champion in general. But those things can be fixed with balance changes, like for example making Kai'Sa deal a little bit less damage, making Yorick spawn 1 or 2 less ghouls, or deleting Shaco from the game entirely. Okay, I'm only half joking on that one. Point is, the potential is there. After so many years, we finally get a brand new game mode that's not on Summoner's Rift, And it's not ARAM, because good god, I'd rather cast Testicular Torsion with a 6th level spell slot on myself than touch that mode. And another thing, a wise man once said, players will always find ways to optimize the fun out of a game. Arena is very much the same thing, with picks like Heimerdinger, Yorick and KO being picked all the time because they simply annoy your enemies more consistently. And then in higher skill brackets, you have Enchanter and ADC duos on every single team. But with so many avenues and ways to do changes in this mode, the quote-unquote meta that forms around it can be turned upside down at any minute. After all, there's no pro play to worry about in Arena. There's no competitive integrity, it's just a big fiesta. And in this sort of scenario, balanced does not equal fun, and vice versa. Is it balanced that I can get Earthquake on Z and burst people without throwing out a single shuriken? Hell nah. But boy is it fun to max W and kite people with that thing. With new augments, new maps and new possible combinations, there's a mountain of potential crazy stuff here. And so far, I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg. In a sense, it's fine for Arena to be unbalanced, as long as the way it's unbalanced changes frequently to keep things fresh. That's been my TED talk on why I love Arena so much. Sure, I still enjoy Summoner's Rift, and no, the honeymoon phase is not over yet, but I think this mode is such simple fun that it's likely here to stay. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.